If you're blaming anyone else for anything in your life, it means you're not taking responsibility for what you need to, and it's keeping you stuck. So today I'm teaching you the 3 things that are keeping you stuck in that blame cycle and my best strategy for each one about how to fix it. And before we begin, I'm going to ask you to please take a minute and like this video and definitely subscribe to the channel so you're alerted every week when I drop a new video. All right, let's get to the 3. Number 1, you allow other people to tell you how you think and feel. And Eleanor Roosevelt famously said that no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, but she really just could have said that no one can make you feel without your consent. I know, no one likes to hear this, but it's the truth. It's always up to you how you feel about something, but you end up allowing other people to tell you what should be important to you and where, who, and what you should focus on. And then you blame others for how you feel, and you decide that they're the why of how you feel. And so here's what you need to do instead. Here's my strategy for that. I want you to focus on your calibration, on where you are. And you need to be the dominant vibration in every room, in every relationship. So right now, what happens is that you calibrate to other people. So for example, if you're happy at home, having a good day, and your partner comes home in a bad mood, and this puts you in a bad mood, then you've just practiced calibrating to someone else's mood. Why can't your good mood be dominant? Why does it have to be that bad mood? So instead, you want the other person to calibrate to your higher emotional mood. And I really have a great and super easy way to do this that I'll link to below. It'll just take a few minutes of your time. All right. And as you're watching, if you hear something that really resonates with you, please leave it down in the comments below so other people really can be inspired by your sharing. And also, for sure, when you write it down, you're way more likely to lock it in for yourself too. So it's a win-win. All right. Number 2, you got crappy boundaries. That's why you're blaming others. You haven't set clear boundaries and limits with others about what you will and won't accept, and then you end up upset that they're treating you a certain way, but it's your job to draw the boundaries. You probably also don't like it when other people have clear boundaries. How dare they when they're making demands of you, but then not allowing you to make demands of them? So what I want you to do instead is very simple and probably obvious. You need to identify your boundaries. How do you want to be treated? What's acceptable and what's not? Then you've got to stick to those boundaries and remind people when they don't meet it, when they don't meet that boundary. And, that often means, by the way, getting better at building your confidence and your self-esteem. I have videos on boundaries and how to set them and how to keep them and building your self-confidence and self-esteem. I've got all that good stuff that I will link to below. So make sure you check it out when we're done. And number 3, another reason you blame others and don't take responsibility is that you ignore your triggers. So as you pay more attention to your emotions and how you're feeling, you will start to notice what triggers you and be able to prepare for it. You've had so many of these triggers for years, but likely continue to accept them and not work on them. You just think, well, that's just how I am. That's just the way it is. Well, those things bug me. These things, upset me. You work on what happens is you work on not getting mad in this certain situation instead of working on getting rid of the trigger. Do you see where I'm going here? You're working on the outcome instead of working on the trigger itself. So that's really what you need to do. So that's what you need to do instead. It's being prepared. It's like, I'm going to my mom's, so I'm going to feel like crap. Because, my mom always says things that really bug me. It's instead, that's a trigger. So instead it's, I'm going to my mom's, and that usually triggers me. I often end up leaving feeling upset or sad or anxious or whatever. So I'm going to do X and Y to make sure I'm not triggered today. That's what you want to do. Or I want to work on the actual trigger itself so I don't even have that trigger anymore. In this instance, maybe what can you think about instead, about what your mom is saying? What else could you think about that? What can you do to get yourself ready And again, be that dominant vibration in the room, that same thing. How can you work on that? And so once again, I have lots of good information about how to get past your triggers, how to identify them, and how to get past them. And once again, I will link to that below the video. But really, overall, you've got to observe these reactions you're having without judgment. You want to work on understanding what's triggering you and why, so you can change really how you show up. And again, that calibration is going to help. A lot of things are going to help. But at the very end of the day, with all three of these that I'm mentioning, if you really want to take more responsibility and really stop blaming others, you got to be more mindful. You're going to have to up your mindfulness game. Because you have to be aware in your moments that you're having the reaction, that you're saying the thing, that you're being triggered, that you don't have your boundary. So this has come up a lot. I treat literally thousands of people over the last decades, and it's a common theme that I give you great tools and it's hard to remember to use them. So I have created a mindfulness starter kit. It's free. It is to help you get better at this. You can download that right below the video also right now to really help you start getting your mindfulness game up so you can successfully do all the things I'm mentioning in this video. And that's it for today. I am here every week. I'm Dr. Abby Medcalf. You can come to my website, abbymedcalf.com. You could follow me on Instagram if you want daily tips and inspiration. We will link to all of the good things below the video. I'm really happy you spent some time with me. I very much appreciate it. And I'm sending all the love. You can do this, and I'll talk to you next week.